message is, if you have callings inside of you, follow them, find your balls, and go for it. When you will start listening to your calling, everything will open in a way that is absolutely amazing. Money comes because we align. It does not come because we force our way to money. There is a lot of noise out there about what you should do or should not do to have more clients or more money. I don't buy any of that. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to meet you here in Kyoto, Japan. I'm on a beautiful river retreat. Seems like the perfect setting to talk about the shift of this channel of my business from French to English. A French-speaking lawyer who stays only in French, what are they concretely missing out on? I would not say that a lawyer or an entrepreneur that is speaking French and only French is missing anything. This is really not the way I teach or embody what I do. I will never say you should do the same, because otherwise you're gonna miss something. I hate playing on this type of leverages. So I will not say that you miss an opportunity, but I would say that if you have an inner calling, a very strong one, to shift your language in your work field, whether you're a baker, a cooker, a lawyer, a financial advisor, I don't care. Chances are that when you will start listening to your calling, everything will open in a way that is absolutely amazing. I cannot express the number of miracles I'm receiving since I've aligned myself until language. What gains human, commercial, or visibility can you name for those who would make the move to English? Again, I don't feel like saying you're gonna win this or you're gonna win that if you do this. I have no interest of convincing people, and my work is not to convince people to go from French to English. You can follow my teachings in French or in English and speak French. I've been doing that with my mentors for the past 10 years. They're all speaking English and I was speaking French. There's no problem about that. So no, my message is not about you should do the same. This is not my message. My message is, if you have callings inside of you, follow them, find your balls, and go for it, because it's gonna align you and put you in the frequency of integrity and truth, and this is the most powerful frequency, and you're gonna become a magnet, and you're gonna attract everything you want, and you're gonna be your most successful, fulfilled, happy person. What obstacles might other entrepreneurs face, and how can they overcome them? Yeah, so what are the obstacles people can face when they are shifting from French to English? So I think there is, like, first, the fear of losing clients. Second, the fear of being misunderstood by your peer or your family or your friends. Third, the fear of not being good enough in this language. The fear of losing some kind of mastery and performing energy, like expertise, once you shift your language. And all of that is a beautiful invitation to trust, surrender, and open more to your heart. And you will see that you will create a life, not only a work, but a life that is so much more lighter, freer, and more beautiful, because it's not based on you performing, it's based on you being and receiving and listening to yourself. Many French entrepreneurs are afraid of going international. They tell themselves, my English is terrible, I look ridiculous. To me, you don't shift from French to English or from Spanish from English because you want to sell. That's not the reason why you do that. You do that because you want this language. You want to practice, you want to speak that way. And because you are following your desire, doors are opening. So this message is not for people that are looking for strategies to sell more. I am not taking decisions so that I sell more. This has never been the reason why I'm taking decisions. I'm taking decisions so that I feel aligned and I feel in integrity with my inner knowing and authority and my vision. I walk in blind faith that my desire is not my enemy, it's my friend. There is a lot of noise out there about what you should do or should not do to have more clients or more money. I don't buy any of that. I only believe in your inner authority, what you want, what is true for you, and following that in blind faith. So if you shift from French to English because you think you're gonna get more, this is not the right frequency to me. But if you shift from French to English because it feels better for many reasons, then it's the right frequency. And because it feels better, you will carry more joy, more freedom, you will become someone way more attractive. That's the thing. So to me, money comes because we align. It does not come because we force our way to money. You can force your way to money, but I am not the person for that. I am working on the inner alignment so that the outer reality reflects that as a byproduct. For entrepreneur watching and hesitating, what would be, in your view, first simple text? So the first step you can do, start speaking English, is commenting this video, liking, subscribing, sending it to someone that is hesitating to speak English. You can also send me a message on LinkedIn in English. I would be glad to read you. And you can also jump into one of my containers. I highly suggest you to follow my newsletter. There is the link right below in the description box. And then once you follow my newsletter, you will be informed with the programs. My next program is a beautiful in-person retreat, a 5 days incredible, very powerful, transformative journey in Jonzac next to Bordeaux. It's from the 9th to the 13th of February, and few spots are still available. So you can just DM me on LinkedIn, send me magnitude, and you will receive the informations. And yes, the first step is reading my newsletter and staying close to me, and maybe start creating some contents in English, maybe writing a post. That would be amazing. In summary, if you had to sum up in one sentence, why this switch to English a real game changer? This switch to English is a real game changer for me because I am more in integrity with my inner calling and my truth, so I become way more attractive, and so I have way less effort to make to receive way more clients, money, impact, visibility. Your coaching is thriving in France. What was the exact moment or the specific frustration that made you say French is no longer enough? I need to switch in English. Well, it was not really an exact moment. It was more like a calling, a vision I had from a very long time. Since I'm a child, I really felt called to explore the US, English. I've always had a pretty good English with like no reasons, and I've always felt expanded by English, and so I knew deep down that one day I would shift from French to English, but it's just that I was always postponing the moment. By the end of 2024, I really had this awakening that I need to shift now, and it took me an actual year from the awakening to the execution because I was so scared, and I will talk about that a lot. Did you feel you'd hit a ceiling with the French-speaking market? If so, how did you feel it in day-to-day work? I cannot say I've reached a ceiling with the French market because I think so many entrepreneurs, coach, mentors are so much more than me, helping so many people, doing so much money, having such a greater impact. They have a bigger visibility, they have bigger revenues, and they're staying in the French. So it's not really a ceiling of business or visibility or impact because I could have go. The ceiling was more an inner ceiling, because when you have a calling in your heart and you don't follow it, it feels like you're dimming something in it within, like your soul is not able to breathe fully. The ceiling was more an inner thing than an outer thing. I cannot say that French market is not enough. I think it's very inaccurate to say that, especially because it's only been 3 years I'm doing this business. It would be like a lack of modesty to express that French market is not enough. Like, it's way bigger than me. So it's more like my raw, authentic, soul-led expression that is in the mix of this decision. What has English allowed you to reach personally or professionally that French had been limiting? To me, English is the universal language, and so there is something much more universal in the way I speak when I speak English. I think it's a frequency thing, a language thing, a vocabulary thing. Like, it's not really something I want to intellectualize or make so logic, but people will get it, like the right people will get it, I'm sure. That language is everything, and when a language is coded with the universal language, it holds a frequency that is different. So the difference, I would say, is that I feel freer, I feel expanded, I feel like I have a broader vision, I see much more far, and I also simplify my message because I cannot use all the complexity of the French language that I master because I'm French. English is kind of forcing me to discipline my structure, the way I think, but also inviting me to reach such a more universal thing and message. Was there an opportunity you missed or a client you couldn't serve that stuck with you and pushed this change? Yes, I'm a traveler. I travel a lot, especially since I'm single, and so it's been something like 4 or 5 years I'm traveling all the time. And so I'm meeting a lot of beautiful people, and these people are English-speaking people. whether they're Germans, Indians, whatever. I've always feel like one day they will reach out on my socials and see only French content, and they will never feel like identifying more and deepening their connection with me. So beyond the business thing, it's also a connection thing. I am connected to a lot of English-speaking people, and I want my socials to be open to them first. That's the first reason. And then also I have so many friends that are living in the US or somewhere else in Europe, and they would highly benefit from my work. And so opening containers in English was a way also to allow these people to work with me, because I really feel it would be beautiful. It's the Alice who speaks English different from the Alice who speaks French. Yes, Alice who speaks English is way more grounded and vulnerable than Alice who speaks French. I've built a persona where I used my intellectual abilities and my good use of language as a way to perform. I'm intelligent, I'm smart, as a way to make a point, as a way to build authority. With English, I feel way less able to perform because I have way less words. My mind goes way slower. It grounds me and it makes me speak from a place that is much more humble and much more connected to people. I think it makes me more relatable and it makes me more simple. I think overall it makes me more me, because the French speaking has always been a tool for me to impress people, and I've been good at using language as a way to impress people. And with English, I had to let the guard down and trust my voice in a way that is not performative. What hesitations or fears did you face before taking the leap? I faced many hesitations and fears before taking the leap. It took me years. For a long time, the deepest fear was, for some reasons, I was thinking of my friends and family, that they will make fun of my English accent. I was scared of people thinking, who does she think she is? Because she's just a little psychologist, French, like why is she going international? Like what does she think? The international market is such a hard market. She didn't make it that much like so strongly in French. Why is she shifting to English now? Like who does she think she is? This sentence became like my mantra. If people don't think who does she think she is or who does he think she is, it means you're not doing it right. I understood that I was scared of people's opinion, people's judgment, and I was scared of people seeing me, believing in me, actually, and trusting my calling and my vision. And so I had to go through the fear of appearing like pretentious by speaking English, also the fear of losing so many clients because they're French-speaking lawyers at the beginning, disconnecting from my audience, like all the work I've been doing so far in French. Everything was very scary because I felt maybe I will not be relevant in English, maybe I will be lame, people will just make fun of me. And then I understood that this was just a reflection of my own judgment about myself, and I had to work on myself so that I stop judging my soul calling with trust and love and compassion. How has this switch to English changed the way you think or work? I feel way more creative, way more free, fearless, and trust. I feel more trust for the people. I have a lot of French-speaking people joining my English containers, and what's beautiful is that nobody's performing because nobody's speaking perfectly English. And so there's something so much more raw and authentic and beautiful and connected since I shifted. And there's also like something more childish, more creative, and I would say more spiritual, because English speaking coaches and mentors, they're not scared of speaking up their spirituality. They're not scared of talking about their spiritual, and they're stepping out of the spiritual closet. And so a whole vocabulary around frequency, vibration, neural pathways, and quantum leaping and quantum realm that is available in English, that is welcomed in English. What's beautiful is that I attract people that resonate with that language too. My language is not just a bunch of woo-hoo concepts, like it's also grounded in business strategy, psychology. I feel that shifting from French to English allowed me to step out of the spiritual closet, to show my love to source, to God, to Mother Nature. What personal impact did you feel on your daily life or creativity? The thing is, I wake up in the morning, and before it was not the case. I wake up in the morning feeling I'm on the track, I'm on the path, I'm on the right path. So I don't know what are the next steps, but at least I'm doing the right moves now. And this changes everything. It gives me a sense of alignment, safety, and way more conviction in the way I build, because I know I have set the right context for me to succeed my mission. Since you announced this change, some of your French clients have started learning English to keep following you. How do you explain that? I have a lot of French-speaking clients. I think that language should not be an obstacle. I think that most of communication is not made through intellectual understanding, but more receiving the vibration and the emotions and the frequency. And so I think my clients are very sensitive to my work. They're ready to improve their English and understand that if it's good for me, it's probably very good for them too. What concrete benefits have you seen for your business since this change? There is less resistance because I'm attracting the right people, and I'm also repelling the ones that are looking for something else, such as very rational, strategic, like mode d'emploi way of doing, And so, yes, because of this alignment, I emit a way clearer signal, and so I receive also much more clear people. Like I can see right away it's a perfect match. So that is beautiful, because I think there is nothing more painful than to help someone that doesn't want to be helped, or to pull someone that is actually like wanting to stay where they are, or to try to give ambition to someone that does not have this ambition, or open the mind of someone that is not meant to, like forcing evolution is terrible. And I think I've been doing that a lot. And since I'm speaking English, there is more boundaries with the people, and that's perfect. I think speaking English sends a very strong message about my ambition and who I am and what I am ready for to be in integrity. And so all the people that were one foot in, one foot out, they don't feel they resonate with me anymore, because they see I'm all in, and so they know where I will take them. And if they're not willing to go all in with their vision, they will use English as an excuse to step out. Thank you so much.